Hi all, Cynthia here, back with a traveller's notebook, continuing on in my notebook about the girls' trip away that we had to Melbourne and to see Pink in concert. And here I am finally scrapping the concert itself. So if you've been following along, you know that I created this traveller's notebook, and as I said, I've been documenting the fact that 5 of us went off to Melbourne for 4 or 5 days, and the initial reason we went to Melbourne was to see Pink in concert, and of course that was a big part of the trip, but you know, in the end it was a highlight, but just spending time together with the girls and doing the things we did was probably just as a highlight as Pink herself, and she was awesome. So here I am, I've printed my photos out. I deliberately printed them out in a block size that I knew would take up one full size of the page, one page, and I've just put that down on the left hand side. And now look at my mistake here, bang, measure. Great measuring there, but I do measure it incorrectly, and if you noticed, I measured the length, no, the width, the depth, the height of this piece of paper with the branding strip still on, so it's a little bit short, so I have to go back in and cut out another piece. And once again, using the trusty nail as the measuring tape. Maybe that's where I went wrong. But anyway, I fiddle around and get these 2 pieces on. First on, I put that on upside down, and I don't realise until I put this one on and go to line it up, and I think, nope. So then I put it on again and go to line it up again, and decided that I'd have the bottom on the page all the way, so that comes off again. And yeah, I fiddle and fluff around until I finally get it all lined up the way I like, and I trim off all the excess. And there we go. I'm happy with that. Otherwise, you really can't see the join in the page. I mean, I guess if you're looking closely, you can see the join. And if you're looking that closely that you do see the join, I'll probably be happy, because that means you're studying my page. So I've pulled out some alphas here from my stash. I go with 2 pink and a gold thicker, but the gold thickers have pink middle core. The actual foamy bit is pink. I think that's what you would say. Hopefully you can understand what I'm trying to say there. Initially thought that I would try to make the title pink sort of curl around that bottom dashes down in there in the bottom corner, but I don't like that, so I try the same with these pink and gold glittery thickers here, and I stick with these thickers, but the title doesn't stay there. Just doesn't quite stand out quite right, and I just can't quite get the spacing to look how I want it to look. So I fiddle around and I end up moving them in the end. Decided that I'll put them down on this paper here so I can actually see how they look and which one I want, and it's when I do that I decide that I much prefer this pink glitter, and I will put it pretty much over there. Not quite there, but not far from there either. So now I go through the embellishments and the 6x6 paper pad to see what else I can use. I'm thinking that I want to put some sort of muted pattern on the background to be able to lay some elements on, otherwise I'll just blend in a fair bit to the background. Go through and find these find a camera. They all have little different sayings on them. So this one I think says happy, maybe. So I just fussy cut that one out, and now going back through seeing which of the papers I can use. I know I want to use a reasonably light coloured paper, so I'm tossing up between a couple there. and I think I settle on excuse me, my voice has gone all croaky. This little one here that has some pink and yellow florals on it. So just a nice subtle piece of paper. Be able to do some layering on. I do toss around for a while on how to make the banners look, and also that I think, you know, it's pink. I'm feeling like I should be putting some sort of bright pink on it somewhere. So I pull out this piece of paper, it's got some pink stripes on it, and I will cut out that section and then try to figure out how I can make it use. So I've only got 3 stripes, the pink, the blue, and the red, and then I fiddle around for a little while how I can make the 2 work. Can I cut it into a banner? Will it be too small? And I flip it that way, and I quite like it up the top. So it does stay up the top just like that. I try a few different things in the meantime, but I ultimately come back to that layout, and you'll see that. That's it. I knew I wanted to use that pink camera, but I don't really know what else I want to use. So going back in here, see what else I can pull out. I feel like maybe I should have 3 banners. The 2's just not all right. Or is it right? I do a bit of fiddling around here, as I said. So you're probably wondering where the inspiration piece for this one is, as it is a Free Flow Wednesday where we take an inspiration piece and we use that. But there wasn't an inspiration piece for this month, so I've just created a page using the kit that I've received as the inspiration and the colours, and we're going to run with that. So Hannah over on the Crafty Maven Getaway, or here on the Crafty Maven Getaway channel, has recently been talking to the design team about some changes that are going to happen soon up on the channel. So certainly keep your eye out for that. There's going to be lots of new stuff coming. Hannah's going to start looking at making sure the inspiration pieces are up again, and we might mix up a little bit with the days of the weeks what we're going to do, and start to get a bit of a schedule back on track, as it has sort of slowed down a little bit over the last month or two. So we're certainly looking to get everything back up and on track again. So make sure you are subscribed to the Crafty Maven Getaway channel to see all the inspiration that will be coming out. What else is happening here? So with the banners, I think I'm pretty much settled. Yep, I'm pretty much settled on what's going to happen here, and I'm going to start sticking those down. I don't want to move them around anymore. I'm happy with those, and I have that journaling tag that I realised that I'm going to use, and I will pretty much put that down straight away as well. And then that little round piece there that says sing your heart out, or sing something like that, which I thought was appropriate as it is pink in concert singing. So whatever it does say, I thought it was appropriate. Going to put my thickers down over here just directly onto the photo, and I like the way they're looking. Add this little blue banner here. I want to bring a little bit of that blue in that's from the photo. So that bottom photo on the right there has a bit of blue in it, and I want to bring that across. So I use that tag there, and I know I have a little bit to say on this page, so I want to have as much room as I possibly can to add my journaling. I very awkwardly, as much as I did say that word, fussy cut out this little gold strip here. I want to bring a little bit of gold across to this page, as I do have the gold stickers on the other side. And so, but in the end you only see a couple of tiny little peaks. I put a little peak this side of the camera and a little peak the other side of the camera, and that is it. But it was just enough. It was just enough to be able to bring that little bit of gold across to that side, so I'm happy with that. and then I go through and see what else I can use. I bring out the other embellishments. So that was the ephemera pack that I was using there, and now I'm going to bring in, the bows and the puffy circles and sequins and all the rest of it to see what else I can use. I decided I want to use a couple of these circle puffy stickers here, but can't quite decide which one I like, whether I like that black one there or whether I like that pink one. So in the end I just trim it off on a little bit of the plastic backing so I can sit it under there to see what I think. And I'll work on this side while I'm making up my mind, while I let that sit there for a little while so I can see whether I like it or not. And I mix it up here in a moment to see whether I prefer the other one. I quite often do that. If I'm unsure about what I want to do, I'll move on to something else, and sometimes if there's a particular element on the page that I'm really not too sure, I'll just leave it there, and I might leave it there all day and walk away and think about it overnight, and each time I walk past it I will see whether or not it's appealing to me, and then when I sit down the next day to continue on the page, I'll just know whether or not I'm liking it or whether it's got to go. Anyway, it looks like the journaling's coming up. I do a little bit of a practice run first to make sure it's all going to fit, and then I do the real thing, and by the magic of editing, voila, it's all done. Grab out a couple of date stamps, phrase stamps, because I know I want to stamp a couple of little phrases, and I think I picked 3, and they're all from this same roller stamp, and they say something like good times, great fun, or crazy fun, or something or other. I'm sure you'll be able to see them in the close-up, and they are coming up soon, so make sure you stay tuned to have a look at those. And I think that's pretty much it. I'm done when I put this last one down. As always, thank you very much for sticking with me. Please leave a comment. I love reading your comments and giving me a thumbs up. Make sure, as I said, you subscribe to the Crafty Maven Getaway channel. You can go and check out their Facebook group as well. All the details will be below in the box, along with the details on how you can follow me on my own channel if you so wish to do so. Anyway, everyone have a lovely day, a lovely week, or a lovely month, and I will talk to you on the next video. Until then, bye.